simply this. So tune in to a simulcast of Primal Sports on Fit FM 96.7, fitfmja.com, and primal4k.com.
Get your day started right with the Morning Connection. Weekday mornings, 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on Fit FM 96.7. Connect with Julia Mikkel Benaya on the Morning Connection for news, business and artist promotions, great music and vibe. Morning Connection with Julia Mikkel Benaya, 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. weekdays on Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music. In celebration of our 100th anniversary, Murray and Tucker Attorneys at Law and Notary Public will be offering free limited real estate consultation without obligation at our Falmouth office, located at Unit 16 Champion Plaza, Falmouth, Trelawney, until September 2023. Call us now at 876-954-4016 or 876-954-5993 or visit us in office for more details.
This is Lady T, Denise Gomez, host and producer of Inside the Zone in New York, the community platform where information is guaranteed. Join me on Mondays at 5 on Fit 96.7, fitfmja.com, Trelawney's Radio, your life, your music, for exciting features within the diaspora. And hear what's on our minds. It's live at 5 on Fit 96.7, fitfmja.com.
Blessings and light. This is Aymara, the musical revolutionary. Your host and the community buzz on Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music. This and every Monday at 3 p.m. From the home to the community to the wider world. Let us be the change we want to see. Join me this and every Monday at 3 p.m. on the community buzz on Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music. Fit mind, fit body, fit community, fit world. This is Aymara, the musical revolutionary on the community buzz on Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music.
Before God and all mankind, I pledge the love and loyalty of my heart, the wisdom and courage of my mind, the strength and vigor of my body in the service of my fellow citizens. I promise to stand up for justice, brotherhood, and peace, to work diligently and creatively, to think generously and honestly, so that Jamaica may, under God, increase in beauty, fellowship, and prosperity, and play her part in advancing the welfare of the whole human race.
Struggle goes on. We are the builders of the pyramids. We are the builders of the stone cities of Zimbabwe. We build them White House. We build them factories. With blood, with sweat, with tears. With flesh, with bones. Them use build them economy. Now them want come con you and me. With them science and them technology. We make them take with knowledge. Now them are deafly. Them are blindly. are walk, we are ride, we are drive, we are fly. Nah, see. Eyes focus on the screen of an iPhone, Galaxy, tablet, Blackberry. Wake up, look. Uno no sister them a bury with. Ancestors crying out. Them a weep, you see we heading back to slavery. Robotic, digital, technological slavery. The rich take them session, call it recession. Left the world in depression. Legal and illegal drugs and alcohol on the rise. In dear interest to our demise, we patronize, now become marginalized. Make fools seem wise because we abide them lies and sell with lives. Prostituting our sons, daughters, and wives. Marcus did rise. Sam Sharp did rise. Bogle did rise. Taki did rise. Queen and Zinga did rise. Harriet Tubman rise. Yes, the ancestors rise. And I'm Marva Rise, Elaine Thomas. I'm Marva Rise, organize, mobilize, visualize, stop, look, through for them eyes and your own eyes. So, yesterday we go out, seeing, and when we go out, we go full joy ourselves. At the Marcus Garvey celebration, this is the 31st celebration, put on by another station. We can't call them name because we know them something, the Irie FM, seeing, and Irie FM did a great job as usual, you know what I mean? Promoting one of the greatest icons that the world ever seen, you know what I mean? One of the most powerful black man, if not the most powerful black man in the 21st or the 20th century. Marcus Mosiah Garvey. And there were some great speakers, some great speakers, Stephen Golin, you know, brethren from, I'm missing name now, from United States of America. He's a black conscious movement brethren, you know what I mean? And he was good, you know what I mean? Enough poets, whole heap of poets, and Jingsu, Cherry Natural, you know, Wise Words, you know, so many poets and performers and drummers, you know what I mean? The maroon drummers from Motown. That was a vibration when those Motown maroons move and play a drummer. You hear the drummer talk, and then you see the spirit take over. And then you see people keep moving, you know what I mean? And just the whole family, you know what I mean? Interaction was very, very impressive and great at that event yesterday, you know? We are going to talk music. Buju perform. Buju come give a nice performance, but it is more than a performance. You know, I see it as a lecturing, you know. He came and he lectured, and he out some nice, you know, some of those cloths that here there's fabric, you know, they're colorful, you know, and he really made them colorful more than ever. Saying so, we give thanks. Yes, I am happy. I am kind of floating, you know what I mean, this evening or this afternoon, because there's somebody beside me where a long time you're not a friend, but at the first time we're touchable friend. And she there with me, you know what I mean? We are business partner, we are everything. See, Diana Wright, poet, singer, songwriter. She will be co-hosting with me this afternoon. How you doing, Diana Wright? Now the people don't hear your voice because I don't care. Come here for you just sit down with your pretty self.
I am doing great. Thank you so much, Aymara. Thank you so much, Fit FM, for welcoming me. I love it. I love the energy. It's great. And I think we're going to have a whale of a time.
Yeah. We are going to, because you are here and we're already having that time. It's not going to. We are having a great time here. Saying so on to bless up the people on Primal Media and bless up the people who are listening across the world, you know, those on www.fitfmja.com. And if you know, if Facebook now work out, just go over this, you know, just go over www.fitfmja.com or www.primal4k.com, see, and just participate. You understand? There are some issues I want to talk about, you know, community issue, and I want to urging them call in too. Saying, well, listen, call in. I expect somebody to call in. You know what I mean? for the past month, nobody no come pick up a garbage. And I believe the people pay property tax. And I live in a community where I see that the people there are some proud people. So I know say they don't owe nobody no taxes. See? So if the parish council or whosoever responsible for collecting garbage, you know, is really slacking up one whole month. So what people are going to do with the garbage. See? You understand? And you not just get raised up here, you know, politicians, you not just get raised up here, councillors and mayor. So I am calling upon whoever responsible for this, you understand, to come within the community of Hagites in particular. You understand? I'm calling? Yeah. Yeah, so, you know, we need this thing to sort out. Like now, and we understand it is not just Hagites. You understand? We cannot live in a dirty Jamaica. We cannot talk about prosperity and we have a dirty country and a stinking country. We have to clean it up. See, because you know where the mind and the people are going to go. You know what I mean? And if politicians are leading and you can't see and you're not making the necessary, you know what I mean, move to make sure that the country is taken care of. We don't know why we're not talking about republic and all of these things and constitutional reform and all of these things. You understand? You have to focus on what we need to do right now that the people can actually feel comfortable, you know, to participate in something that is much greater that we claim that we are moving towards. But if them see a dirty country, you understand, and them can't take it, how them are going to participate in anything? You understand? You know, so we are calling upon the people in authority. And all of we in authority too, because I mean, everyone go on like, but me I say, those who are collecting the taxes of the people to take care of these basic things, I'm expecting that you must carry out your work. You understand? That's what we are saying. And we are going to talk about another incident on Top Street. That piece of metal we missed out of the road, from that road fixed till now, and everybody have to swing on. Why take for Jamaica grill if you just put over that manhole where they did so? What it really takes to make a nice little piece of grill. You must can find some welder in the place to even fix up one same place in a Falmouth. I mean, no, it now go cost $100,000. You must can find even $50,000 to put something over there, so that people now feel dance around it. When I wait till a serious accident take place right there up on Top Street, you know what I mean? This is what radio station is about, and this is what the community bus is about. So we have to talk about things that is affecting our things that are affecting our communities, right? So here we are on Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music. We're coming up in the program. We are going to talk to Mr. Paul Bartley, former chairman of JCAP. He was once a board member of Jaria. You know, he's a record producer, he's a songwriter, you know what I mean? He's a publisher. He wears so much cap, you know. When he come on, me ask him to about the other part. I mean, I'm going to say nothing till him come on. But he's so much things. And we're going to talk to my brother 10-star general, you know. 10-star general, you know. I'm going to go sit up in a little late hours to accommodate me. They're way in England. So I'm about 6 hours ahead away. But he's my brethren, and he always support whatever we are doing. And he's a man who really dedicated, you know, to see the upliftment and the improvement, you know, and the expansion of our culture and our music. Diana, say something, no?
You know, I'm listening. You keep talking, and I will chime in. You know,
yes.
I'm just so glad to be here, and then of course I'm going to chime in.
All right. And maybe the last hour of the show, me and Diana Wright are going to talk about her own involvement in the music. She's also a record producer, singer, songwriter, poet, and you know what I mean, author. She's so many things, you know, website creator, so many things. You know what I mean? So we will talk later when it comes around to that. But as we say, we have so many things to deal with. Me go on over primal one, primal people them, so me go on over there. In the meantime, when me go bounce piece of music and when we come back, we see if we can find Paul Bartley and we hook up with him.
This is Fit FM 96.7. Shalani's Radio. Your life, your music. Fit FM 96.7. Shalani's Radio. Your life, your music.
Rhythm sweet, man. I'll produce already now. Jamento rhythm. What a piece of rhythm. Play it again. Play it again. Play it again. Come on.
FM 96.7. Shalani's Radio. Your life, your music.
Isn't it amazing? It is amazing. Sitting outside the other day, I hear some people discussing. I just stood up and I hear them say, what Jehovah can do. I just to give my view. Let me tell you what my Jehovah can do. Deaf hear, dumb talk, cripple walk, sick heal, raise the dead. Tell me what Jehovah can do. Good God, good God. Yeah. You need fire, ask Elijah. You need faith, ask Job. Make a way, ask Moses. You need prayer, ask Daniel. Are you a warrior? Ask Joshua. Are you a warrior? Ask Joshua. Are you a warrior? Ask David. Giant killer. David. Giant killer. King David. Giant killer. You wanna ask Esther? Queen. She's a queen. Good God, good God, good God, good God. I was sitting outside the other day. I hear some people discussing. I just laugh and I hear them say, what Jehovah can do. Come, let me give my feel. Let me tell you what my Jehovah can do. Jehovah is everything to me. Is love, peace, joy, grace, mercy, and protection. That's Jehovah. He's Jehovah, my sweet Jehovah. He made me laugh, he made me cry, he made me hold my head up high. He's my rock, he's my shield. He's the wheel in the middle of the wheel. Good God, yeah. Mighty God, mighty God, mighty God. Is love, peace, joy, grace, mercy, and protection. That's Jehovah. You hear that? Jehovah. Is love, peace, joy, grace, mercy, and protection. That's Jehovah.
Yes, yes, yes. What a sweet piece of rhythm and a piece of production. Me assure you, it's when people are talk about Jamaica culture, people just believe that Jamaica culture is reggae music. It is so diverse. What do you think other piece of music are, Diana? Yeah?
I want to say, Jamaicans, I hope you understand that this is our legacy. I promise you, this is our legacy. And it doesn't matter what's going on in your life, in our life, we have to make sure that we do not let anyone come and take this from us. This is ours. This music, this is our wealth. This is
what
nice.
I think. Anyway, we have to disturb that. Yes, it is Fit FM and another thing chip in, but it is something that we know to take care of. What a sweet piece of rhythm. Go ahead, Diana, because that thing that happened a while ago just disturbed the floor.
I was just really calling to my fellow Jamaicans. I said, listen, it doesn't matter what's going on in your life. This is our legacy. This music, this is our wealth. And if you're not careful, others will come and see this and take it and be wealthy with it. So we have to make sure that we understand this is our music, this is our culture, this is our vibes, this is our wealth. So treat it like you know it's your wealth. Understand and appreciate it. Don't give away your reggae music. Don't give away the mentor. Don't give away Jamaican music. Feel music.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Paul Bartley.
Greetings, Imara.
How you doing, brother?
Doing well, man. Greetings.
You know that piece of music? You know that piece of music we play a while ago? You know it?
No, man. I greet my friend first, man. Greetings to Julia.
How you are?
One of my favorite personalities in radio.
How are you, sir?
Greetings to all the listeners in Fit FM. I remember I used to leave church and go by another place, go check Julia on Sunday afternoons. So it's a long time. It's a good vibe. We're glad for Fit FM, and we just give thanks for this opportunity. You know?
Seeing.
Yeah.
And we have a sister in the studio. I want you to bless her up. Her name is Diana Wright.
Remind me of her name again.
Diana Wright.
Oh, yeah. Greetings, Diana.
Greetings, Paul. How are you?
Yeah, man. Bless her. I'm doing good.
All right. Good to hear you. And I know your music very well. And yes, you are. You're doing it. You're doing the darn thing.
You sound a bit distant. I'm not sure if you're hearing me good.
Can you hear me better now?
A little bit. Yeah.
Okay. I'm saying you are doing a great work because I know your work. I'm familiar with it. And I'm just saying that you're doing the darn thing, as we would say.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
So we just ask you if you didn't know.
It was done for.
Yeah, go ahead.
It was done for the 60th celebration. It's, as you know, it's our first. Mental is our first international music genre. So
True.
I did that for our 60th celebration. And
Yeah, it's really a great. We just love the whole vibration of it, the energy, the feel, and I mean, and we can. It's why you do. Most of that is live, don't it? Come know you love live music.
can you talk up a little? I'm really.
I am saying most of that is live, and maybe if you adjust your instrument, most of that live.
Yeah, man.
Because I hear the live night, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Yes. Yeah, Paul, I'm happy to have you on. You know what I mean? A man who wears so much cap. Me still I say wear, see? I'm not going to use the past then because, you know, sometimes some people say once a teacher is always a teacher, and you are always in the music, you know. As somebody who used to be the former chairman of JCAP, you know, I don't know if you're still a part of Jaria, but you always active in this music. And today we just want to observe the music. Last night I was at an event, and I heard the Gaga melodies, you know, and those utterances, you know, grab me ears, because I realize more and more, you know, even while I was thinking to come on this program.
Mara,
you know, hear me? You struggle to hear me. Maybe we need all right, maybe we need to hang up and call you forward. Yeah? Yeah, but sometimes even when you call,
you can call direct if anything.
She said direct, but sometimes the line them just bad. So I could just call again and see what I go on. We are going to just try again and to see if the line we get a better line. See? So I could play back a piece of music, let Julia. All right, yeah. We'll call you back, Paul. Yes. We have online with Brethren Paul Bartley, the producer.
Yeah, man.
It is so it is, you know, we have to know if we do this thing, you know what I mean? Yes, Paul. So I was saying, you know, as somebody who involved in the business, you know, on various levels, you know, as somebody who was the chairman for JCAP, you know, on Jaria board. I don't know if you're still on Jaria board. I don't know if you're still a director for JCAP. I was a director there with the eye, saying when he was chairman, I wasn't there anywhere. But we are looking on this music. Yesterday I went to an event, you know, that IRFN put on, you know, I believe it's the 31st time, you know, they are doing it. This is 31st anniversary of the Marcus Garvey celebration. And, you know, we observe the impact of the music. Everything is the music, you know what I mean? And yesterday the music was just clean, you know, just pure music where the family gather. You see children, you see, you know what I mean? So we listen to a performance by Buju Banton, and it is more than a performance. To me, it is more like a lecture, you know what I mean, through the music. And he was looking at the vibration of our people, was looking at the condition of our people, and some of the things that are affecting us, and how we need to take responsibility as people, not isolate ourselves. Say, you know, some is just an artist and we just come to sing some music. But what about your civil responsibility as a musician? You know, these are some of the things that we are looking at, you know what I mean? Because whether you are singer, songwriter, poet, you know, or whatever you involve in this culture, when not politicians make policy or pass legislation, them though, none of those, we are not isolated from it, or any of those policies or legislation that have been passed, you know what I mean? Them all affected us. See? So, I am looking on how the music is really impacting our youth today, you know? How the music is impacting the next generation coming. What is it we need to do, you know, as people who see ourselves as senior? Come here, go put myself as a senior in the business right now. What is it we can do to, you know what I mean, make that change for the upliftment of our people?
Before I answer, just want to make an observation. So, almost like when a gate is on a track, when you speak, you start strong. When you go a little lower, it's almost like it's cutting it out. But once you start strong, I hear everything that you're saying. But I think I understand the gist, and I'm going to go forward to answer in terms of what you're saying.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, man. I think like in our families,
Mm-hmm.
like in our personal lives.
Yeah.
The first one of the important things. I don't even know if it's the first thing, but one of the important things to recognize in our lives is when we look back on our family history, our personal history.
True.
We have to look at the especially the missteps that are made and make an effort to correct those missteps in our time. And if not our time, we make sure that our children or those who come after us can emulate us, looking at our history, looking at the positive, making bigger moves than those positives, but
Mm-hmm.
correcting the missteps that were made. In my opinion, I believe one of the greatest missteps
Yes.
for our music in today's day is that when you look at it, and we know the history, we know the names. I have no fear in calling the names, but it's not about the personalities.
Mm-hmm.
But in our history, some of our most noted Jamaicans, some living now, and many, some of them up to the level of being holding the highest office in Jamaica, which is Prime Minister, have been involved integrally in the music business. And one of the vibration that I always have is that if Trinidad or Barbados, just from the Caribbean here, were to ever have the kind of history that we have, the gains that they would be making today, given the fact that at the highest level in the country, their their leaders were also experts in the music business. I don't think, even though we have done well on the backs of individual and private success. I don't believe we have done well as a nation overall by the kinds of infrastructure that have been put in place from the early days that should secure our success today. So my first observation is that if we are to make gains going forward, we have to critically examine what we have and call as an industry, look at some of the best practices in the world, and put those things in place. And if we believe that um, if we can come together, unite to do that, which is one of the biggest problems, because when you listen to the analysts and the persons who have experience outside of Jamaica, persons in Afrobeat, persons in hip hop, persons in American music business,
See.
they are looking on the inside and they are saying what is lacking in Jamaica is a kind of unified approach towards the industry. So that would be my initial feeling.
Yes. You have something to
So
say?
I wanted to ask you, Paul. So who do you think is shaping, or who do you think is it a group of people, or is it Jamaica at large that's responsible for shaping our music industry?
Is the question who I think is responsible for
Yeah.
shaping the industry?
Yes.
Um, there are two levels. One, the government of the day, whoever that is. So I'm not talking parties and politics now.
I understand.
Whoever is the government of the day, we have given them a mandate. We have paid them. We have given them the opportunity to to make decisions on our behalf in our best interest.
Okay.
I don't believe that has been so in a large way. They have largely made political decisions which are in the interest of their party. And I know I'm not talking politics, you know.
I understand.
I'm talking music.
Yes.
So where the focus ought to have been in the early days and in the 80s and 90s when we are reigning supreme,
Mm-hmm.
most of the focus is on the 5-year cycle to make sure that we win back the election. That is one. So I believe that the primary responsibility comes with the leaders of our country who are supposed to manage the national resources in such a way
Mm-hmm.
that it gives persons with the ability, the opportunity to maximize those abilities.
Very well
Second to
said.
that, then there comes now the personal responsibility. I believe we have done very, very, very well on a personal level. Bob Marley, I believe, is the most, this, and his management. I can't leave out that. Some Jamaicans tend to leave out management out of that. They're not going to do that. Bob Marley and his management, I think, almost single-handedly, possibly is the greatest individual achievement when you look at the global powerhouse that we are culturally. It wasn't done because there was a national effort. It was private and personal. I believe we have done very well. And when you take it down now to the Sean Pauls, the Shaggies, the Sizzlers, all of those producers, we have done very well just carrying the baton by ourselves, I believe. Am I saying that the government has done nothing? No. I'm saying that we could have done far more, one, and we would still be a greater contender on the global sphere had the infrastructure been in place for us to thrive.
Okay.
Paul, as when I listen to you, and I'm listening to you right now, right? I am hearing somebody who could possibly be a consultant to the entertainment ministry, if there's such a ministry. Because I believe this is something I feel like say we should, based upon the impact of our music, we should have a separate ministry for entertainment. It shouldn't mix up with anything else. Based upon our music impact and based upon the knowledge of people like the I am. More people out there, you know, and who are a part of the industry as a practitioner. You see the whole thing of politics in a way where you have to get somebody who is a part of the political party to be a minister. And we are looking on report on constitutional reform now. We feel like we should look into some of these things, that we need to change that kind of outdated practice where a politician go become some expert into something that they are not knowledgeable about, you know, and just have some people on the outside who have the real knowledge, who know how to deal with things, like the I and many other people. But as we say, you said a while ago, one of the things that is affecting us is because we are not moving collectively. And if we are not moving collectively, what are the steps that we are going to make now to make sure that happen, that we have that collective movement? Because we have been saying it over the years. This is something, you know, we even sing about it in the music. Unity, unity, we need to come together, we need to this. But we are just saying it. What is it that we are going to do now to make that happen?
Yeah, I think the major challenge we have over the years, and as the experts outside looking on, it still comes back to the fact that is there a collective in the music space in Jamaica that has Jamaica's music history and future at the helm of their thinking or that organization? When you look at the American music business, it's doing very well, reasonably well. America is no different from Jamaica in terms of partisan politics.
Mm-hmm.
What is happening in America now is very, very telling in the sense that whether it is one party, Democrat or Republican, they are going to line up their ducks and their people in their interest. But watch this. Don't you realize that in America, like in Africa,
Mm-hmm.
the interest in Afrobeat and the interest in rap and hip hop and R&B, those interests are very clearly different from the political interest, even though those persons are involved. Some of them are involved in the politics. I think that's a major difference in Jamaica, that you don't have a set of persons who are involved in the music business, and as a collective, our voice is strong enough to say to any one of the parties, this is what we want, or else.
Now, you see, I asked you a while ago, that yes, we see that is a problem. And that the discussion that we are having now, I am seeing it as a step in that direction, that after we have this discussion, and the people who are listening out there, who we can call and say, watch ya, we need to form some movement. When we say movement, we're not going to talk about, because we did have the GFM, with which we did defend the people interests. We still have JCAP as an organization, which if it...
Getting a rumble now.
Yeah?
Are you in a rumbling now? I'm not
Yeah,
sure what it is.
yeah, get a rumble now. You're still hearing it?
Yeah. Hardly. It's almost sound like a loud fan, but I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah, maybe is it. It's a fan. And the phone maybe they're right close to the fan. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yes, it is clearer now, don't?
Yeah.
All right. So I am saying, as we observe the difficulty, the challenges, we still look for the solution, and we are saying that now that we realize the problem, and I don't like say because the people overseas are saying it. I see the thing come out, but we have been saying it over the years. We know that this is the challenges, or the challenge that we are facing. See? This is one of the many challenges that we are facing, the unity. And I believe this is the major part of the challenge that we are facing. And it has become like an ingrained culture within our psyche that we must have more than you, we must better than you. You know what I mean? Even when you go to stage show, even last night, I watch it. When you go to stage show, a man wants to outdo another man. A producer wants to outdo him brethren. You understand? Saying? And the whole thing where the producer and the artist never ever see eye to eye because of the whole thing of having clear awareness or understanding of the business. Nobody wants to share knowledge because they believe having knowledge, they are more powerful and they can manipulate others. So when we look at that as one of the major problems, that people don't want to see the other man, level off with him. And I even like when we say level off, and I like him if you do what you do, because you have your strong point. You are a great producer. You need a great singer. See? So, right there, so, maybe if he's not a songwriter, you need a great songwriter. So that is a collaborative effort taking place right there, so. See?
Yeah.
You need a great engineer to mix it, to make it sound the way you want it to sound. See? So it's more collaboration. So when you look on all of that, you realize that this thing called music, the way it's set up, it is always a cohesive effort to make it work the way how it's supposed to work. See? Now when it comes down to now, the business aspect of it, we don't find that. Why is it? And that we are saying, oh, we go and find a way to fix that.
Well, I would like to challenge you, although you are the one asking me the question, because you said earlier, even though you said earlier now that we recognize what is the problem,
Yes.
here is my response to that and a question to you.
Yeah.
I have spent over 30 years in this business, and you know that both you and I sometimes, we operate at the highest level.
Yeah.
At the collecting agencies, the big organizations, you name it, I've been there.
Yeah.
You just said, now that we recognize that we need to be united,
Mm-hmm.
that is a problem. I want to challenge you with a
Yes.
question, because these days I'm not as vocal, I'm not as present, because I feel that I don't want to appear pessimistic, but I don't have the optimism.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that we have recognized that lack of unity is the problem. I don't know that.
Paul, I have a little
Yeah.
observation, and I don't know if I'm wrong or right. But for
Yeah.
example, when you look at it, the business of music is one, right? Is one aspect in of itself. And I guess that's the
Yeah.
reason why most of us as artists, for example, once we have a song and the song is being played on the radio, we say, yes, what's the next best thing? The next best thing is to go to Europe to sing. The next best thing is to go abroad to sing, to get in the money. And it seems as if the other nations, other people outside of Jamaica understand the business of music, and that from a monetary standpoint, that is where we are lacking where that is concerned. No, and secondly, and I want you to hear me out clearly, and the audience, I want you to listen to me carefully in this point, because this might be a little touchy. We are divided in a lot of ways. For example, when I first put out my song, we were taught that, okay, then as a Christian, don't sing the reggae music and devil music, so the greater, Jamaica is a very religious country, right? So whether you're Rastafarian or something, you are taught that the song that praises God have to be seemingly have to be sad and slow and that kind of thing. If it is have the drum and the bass and the reggae, it is demonized. So the people who are supposed to really put in the music, facilitate it, buy the music, support the music, we have been taught that is a devil's music. So we have to now go back to the churches and go back to wherever it is and say, listen, no matter how much you praise God, you still want money, because at the end of the day, when you want money, the pastor is going to tell you, sow a seed. And you can't, 0 to 0 mean nothing. You understand? So we have to go back and we have to let our voices be heard. We have to really be radical in this and let the people know that, listen, this is our music, the drum and the bass, no do nobody nothing. You understand? It is the lyrics that they're saying, the cussing and the killing and the ray, because that is where the problem is. So unless we can address that, other people on the outside of us are going to keep benefiting and exploiting us.
Yeah. Well, I have to address.
Yeah, you did that. You was making a point, where you really want to direct something to me. I'm still here listening. You know what I mean?
That's you, Aymara?
Yeah, me I listen to you. So me I say, Diana, made that suggestion was pointing out some of the things that affect the business certain way.
Yes.
See, but you say you want to redirect the question that I asked you. You know what I mean? So that is what I'm waiting on to.
Yeah, the notion that you said that now that we recognize that the problem is that we need to be united. I am saying I don't see any real indication that we have recognized that.
Okay. That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Now, let me point out this to the eye. You see, when it comes to the whole thing of the business class in Jamaica and we, the practitioners, we observe long time that this place is a classist society. You know that. You don't feel like we observe that enough, that is a classist society?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that is one of the main observation. And once we have that kind of classist mentality, then we observe that we have a major problem to deal with. Now, let me finish. So the major problem that the classist structure developed are created from somewhere, how are we going to deeply get ourselves engaged in that, in a way to remove that kind of mindset? To know that, as I just said to you a while ago, that if all of we are participate to make something, right, it is also fair that all of us must benefit from what we are creating.
Properly.
And this is simple how we want to look on it. Say, guess what? Everybody participate in this thing. How we going to make it be more feasible that everybody can feel a part of it. And if we can sit down and have, you see what we are doing right now is a discussion we're having now. How often are we having these discussions? People maybe say we talk too much. See? But in any relationship, my brethren, you know that family or any relationship, one of the things that must happen for the relationship, you know, depend on a strong footing is communication. And if we not master the skills of communication, we are going to in a problem. And I believe that is one of the things that is affecting us. Recently, a sister said to me, the culture of reasoning is dying out because we don't know how to reason anymore. You know, we rather assure a man where you have or how much you're bigger than him, and it become a part of the music now. Now, if we say that become a part of the music, because you just talk about Bob Marley, you know, but it wasn't just Bob Marley alone. When you observe what Bob Marley and Jacob Miller and all of those other people were doing, they were planning a movement, because when Bob Marley started Tough Gang, what he was looking on is this to start an industry. And he was also looking on how him can help his fellow people with talent. And Burning Spear was there, Jacob Miller was there, you know, one of the young protege was Nadine Sutherland. See? Now, we just observe, as I said to you over there, something happened with a major recording company, you know, distribution company where everybody have problem with. From the 90s, we hear people that talk about this company, and we see, well, it is out in the public now, and it is alleged that many artists, VP is the company, them can't sue me because they have things out there we are doing. See? So, what we are saying, we see them things that happen over the years, and we are practitioners in the business. You tell me, say, when you study it and to see how we can come up and organize a company, a distribution company among ourselves. What is so hard in that? That is one of the steps where we are looking on. Or we can farm a distribution. 6 artists who have $60 million sit down pan and a drive up and down in about 12 Mercedes Benz and different picnic mother all about the place. If them say this business is so important, we as practitioners, why we can't come together? Some of we go school enough and study what we call principles of business, and some of us, you know, why we can't come together to fix just that part of it?
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to try and address something, because I think this conversation is good, but
yeah,
you see, what we have done over the years, especially because we consider ourselves powerless, we try to address the shoot of the tree, and we're not addressing the root. If you address the root and you correct some things at the root level, we don't need to worry about the shoot.
Aye.
When you mention classism,
yeah,
I want to put classism in a context for the listeners, because if we're not careful, when you mention classism, we're thinking about brown and black people.
Yeah.
We're not thinking about the whole slaves,
yeah,
who are in charge of us, who feel them important now because them leave out of the master's house,
yeah,
and then get a chance to rule over we. Now, what is happening now is that when you say classism, and I want to declare my hand first that I'm not suggesting that if I call any names, which I may have to, I mean that that person is classist or selfish or anything. Draw the line where you mean.
Mm-hmm.
Coxsone, who was one of our earliest components and a hero and an icon,
Yeah.
was not a brown skinned man.
No.
And I'm saying that to say, without casting any aspersion on him, his foundation, or his family,
Mm-hmm.
that when you say classism, the average listener must be black.
No.
Because classism now, when you think of selfishness and
Yes.
greed,
Yes.
that is where the root of the problem is. Because early in the day, we can think of Jacob Miller, Bob Marley, Toots, and people like Jimmy Cliff. You notice what was happening there with that businessman? There was a brown-skinned businessman there, and no matter who, once you have talent, once you're good, you are involved. You're a part of that. I'm not saying everybody has equal opportunity, but you don't have a situation where you have a little one man over there with a one artist, and the whole world revolves around him one artist for the next 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's not an industry. What we have as a problem in Jamaica is the fact that, and I am addressing now something that Diana said earlier, because I have not forgotten her question from a business level.
Yeah.
The Christian part of it I'll address later, but we have some of the greatest practitioners of the music business here in Jamaica. When Bob Marley, Burning Spear, and those guys were touring in the 70s and the 80s, the rest of the world never, especially the Caribbean, never knew anything about that.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those persons are still living today. But if we don't understand our history, we're just coming out of a Marcus Garvey period. We are looking outside of ourselves, not realizing that what we need to do is to recognize and become a collective within ourselves, because we have the expertise.
Right.
So when we carry the marketing of this country now, every little label we go and sign outside of Jamaica, then if your biggest marketer is outside of Jamaica, you have a problem.
That's true.
Perfectly said. Perfectly said, my
So
brethren.
the expertise is here.
How we utilize and maximize, see, the skills of those experts. That is something that we are going to look into. Paul Bartley, you see, me say, how do we utilize and maximize the skills of those people, see, that we call expert, that we know here? It's not just called, because we see them and we talk to them more than once. We go to many seminars and know that there are people among us who can, but we always have this, what you call name, trust issue that we need to deal with. You understand? And that is a simple thing to deal with, you know. To deal with trust, all you have to do is shift it from trust to transparency. That's all you need to do, you know. Just shift the whole thing from trust to transparency.
But you make it sound easy.
Me now make it sound, yeah, but me now make it so, I know sound, I make it sound easy. Because transparency could mean that you owe one artist 35 million over the last 10 years. Yeah, but before it reaches a stage that you owe him, the transparency that I'm talking about, that he or the party that involved in the business understand clearly from the initial state of the business that me not gonna make you owe me 30 million.
But what I'm saying, Amara, we can't have the discussion in a vacuum.
Nothing.
After 30 years in this business, transparency not going to be easy.
No,
because
but
enough people out there have gotten robbed.
Yeah, but I am saying those you see the people who get robbed already, eh?
Yes.
And it is out of what we call name ignorance. See? Because some of the people who were robbed them not even alive now. Some of the people, when the people are cuss Coxsone and say Coxsone was what the man who robbed them. Coxsone dead. Who are going to pay them?
I don't know. Well, yeah.
You see what I say? Who are going to pay them? Who then can take to court? You understand?
That's why I don't want to approach it from that personal level. Because, and that is why I am insisting, although you're saying that is not the issue. The name you call a while ago,
Mhm.
that business still exists today. When I die, I'm going to pass on my foundation to my children. And whatever culture I share with them and pass on to them, they're going to carry it on.
Yes.
So transparency means that it's going to be difficult.
Mhm.
It's not going to be easy.
No, but I am talking, partly, I am
Yeah.
talking that we recognize a problem, see, that most of what was happening then is because there wasn't the kind of openness. There was a certain level of ignorance. Now,
Yes.
what we realize now, the people who become knowledgeable now, those are the people who become knowledgeable. They not deal with it in a collective way anymore. A man say, all right, them boy, they used to rob me. And you realize the music start to water down because of that too. See? So the man said, me nobody want nobody to play for me. Me don't want nobody. So he want to do everything. You want to be producer, you want to be artist.
You want to know part of the reason.
Eh?
You want to know part of the reason why that is so?
Yeah.
Again, not
Yeah.
casting aspersion on any particular person.
Mm-hmm.
But the persons, the young persons who have the opportunity now, for it's going to sound bad enough.
Mm-hmm.
The scenario that you are trying to paint,
Yeah.
if that were to happen, the whole of the man them from the last 30 years would have been dead out. Me not say them to dead enough. But I'm saying the young youth them nowadays, that I'm talking about a person who have been involved
Yeah.
in the industry for 12 years. I have helped to build Jaria.
Mm-hmm.
12 years out of my life, get. But some of the young youth, them, when you talk to them and say, boy, come join this, because we can do this for you. We can help you go to the ministry and bring in your thing tax-free and whatever.
See.
When they look around, the same people them who you call them name, say, boy, them do this over the years. They are the guardians and the bastions of the industry. And them ahead all of these things same way.
True.
So the people them now don't have the trust. Am I saying that those persons are guilty?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But the youth them who come and have the knowledge now, why them are do them thinking because they not trust nobody with them to better.
Aye.
When them born come here is that the father they do the one that they do this, the one that they do. Whether
Yeah.
it is true or not,
Mhm.
it is a reality and we cannot go around it.
Yeah.
That's true.
All right. Just give me a little wallet. Some people are make some comment here. UK drill artist making money right now. That is somebody named John Doe. John Doe also said too much politics in yard. It means too much politics in the business. And then go further and say, need to invest within yourself or whoever can make, then teach the thing, bro. See, you know, people with the talk. Then everyone can eat a food. Well, John Doe, that is the thing we want pass now. They just eat a food thing because of the eat a food mentality make with
Right.
the part with it. See, we have to pass the whole eat a food thing because this industry is much bigger than eat a food. Right now, we are looking on Ratatan and go on right now. I would say most of the major artists, them, they are Ratatan, I perform. And most of the money there, I go left in Europe. We are going to Europe, we make money and left it there. From the culture, we left Jamaica. See? So, this is something we need to fix. But, you know, say, we need to have your back on this for at least 2 hours. Because we know say you're somebody. This can be a part 1 thing. Me have to look on a part 2.
Can I just address the last the statement
Yeah.
and the whole politics thing?
Yeah.
I am one of those persons who will embrace the discussion that as a collective, we have to recognize what politics is there for. We're not playing politics. Look at the role that School of Music has played in giving the world so many good musicians now. They get subventions from the government. You remove the government support from that school. Where is the private interest that is going to do that? You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So we are not talking politics. We need to get the people who are spending the tax dollars
Yeah.
that we pay when we buy a cheese tricks.
Yeah.
If $2 go towards the music industry, we need to come together as a collective and make sure how that $2 spent.
Yes.
That
yes.
is how the politics is involved. So
Yeah.
I just want to mention that.
Yeah. But Paul, before Diana come in, we must not shy away if we say we not talk politics. Because it's politics. Music is a part of the political science. If people don't understand, it's an extension of it, the art and the culture. Because them use it in so many ways. There's no political meeting and political party where they don't use the music. So, yeah. So we can't escape it. And this is one of the things, as Mr. Bojo did a talk last night, I mean, hear the same thing. When we believe that as musicians, we even frightened for talk politics. We have to get engaged and participate in the political process because it's the political system that is affecting us. Why we can't even move forward.
Manufacturers Association, the Hotel and Tourist Association, all of the other tourism association,
yes,
all of them understand politics.
Aye. So why our industry believe we shy away from it and all we can do is burn out politicians?
Because we believe it's an individual thing.
Yeah. I want to tell you, maybe me need to get involved in the politics and me and you too. So Paul, hear me now. If we look on Paul and say you have the potential to be the next Prime Minister of Jamaica, you don't see that as a job that you would take up.
It's going to affect my music, so I don't want it.
You know, easy though. We are going to have you again. Before me let you go. Diana,
you know what to say. I was going to say that the mindset of this generation is, I guess, is somewhat different from, back in the day. We have to, even if we don't have to reinvent the wheel, sometimes maybe it's not a wheel we need, maybe it's something else. Maybe we think it's a wheel we need, but maybe something else. I am willing, even as a singer, I have one whole heap of skills. I worked in the legal fields. I do one whole heap of stuff. So listen, I am willing, along with Imara and yourself and other people, we need to sit down, have our own table, and we need to see where our strengths are and our weaknesses are, and then we need to kind of single out, some roles to each of us, and let us redo the thing, because I know that we can do. I have a whole heap of skills to down on, and when you get to know a little bit more about me, you will realize even, Amara and I work closer together. So if it is, they say, if the mountain won't go to Muhammad, bring the mountain to Muhammad, something like that. We are Jamaicans, we can do it. Right. So that is what I am advocating for. You see, we can sit down and talk about what this one did, because they have done it already. And if we don't step in and forcefully change it, we will always have that talk. And I am one willing soul. You see what I'm saying? So we can do whatever we need to do, Paul. We have to do it. You understand? To make the money stay among us. We don't need to go and let other people benefit off of us when we are starving at home. We are the money. We really are the money. We are the goods. We don't just have the goods, but we are the goods. And no matter which organization is set up, which organization is going to be set up, we are the money. And if we are willing to stand together, then me did it. And we can do something. So just make me know, make Amara know.
Me did it. And that's why I do what I do. Paul, me I go call you back, maybe next week, me I look for your part 2, and me want me to talk on a deeper level.
Yes, sir.
Me love you, my brethren. Take care of yourself.
Thanks for the opportunity,
Aye.
Blessed love, Paul. Nice talking with you.
Yes.
Yeah, nice.
Yes, so we have the email over here, so His Girl 777. Yes, they are learning from the lack of understanding from some of their elders. We should want younger generation to learn from the mistakes of their predecessors. 80s baby are now in their 40s. I think that's a sign, just one sign, that we could recognize that times have changed. A change in times requires elevated mindset, not archaic thinking of the past. See, so she's making some very, very valid points here, you know what I mean? So we have to look into these things and see. We're going to play a piece of music, and when we come back, we're going to link up 10 Star General, if I have 15 minutes out time, I'm not going to really stress him too much, see? But we're going to talk to 10 Star General on a different level. Give it a piece of music.
From this earthly domain.
If you miss me, don't go searching. And if you don't see me, you know I'm gone. And if you don't hear from me, don't go knocking on my door, 'cause I'll be gone in the twinkling of an eye. You're my brother, and I'm your sister. You know I love you, and that is true. I would like to take you with me, but this is a one man's aim and desire. Oh, if you miss me, don't go searching. You don't see me.
96.7. This is a Fit FM 96.7. Shalom is radio. Your life, your music.
We might make plans to go yonder, and I might tell you to meet me at 8. But the clock's hand is ticking faster, and I might not be there with you at all. Oh,
Fit FM 96.7 for the best in reggae
don't
music.
go searching, and if you don't see me, you know I'm gone. If you don't hear from me, don't go knocking on my door, 'cause I'll be gone in the twinkling of an
Yes. That is Diana Wright. Big tune. Big tune. You know, whole heap of people cover it, and you know, and we need to talk to the people in the collecting agency like JCAP. Yeah, collect your royalty, my sister.
I think it needs more. It needs a whole lot more.
Okay.
A whole heap more.
We are going to talk to them because this music is a big song, see? And we must deal with it. Make we go right here, so. It's Girl 77. Music has changed. Politics have changed. Well, not in that parties in JA, but in most places it has changed. Colonialism isn't the only enemy. There are enemies we choose not to see as well. Why? Because they are black like us, and we want to give them a pass and blame everything on an enemy we can't even see. Thank God for new thinking that isn't bridged to indoctrination built by experiences read in history book or history books. Hi, Sister Diana. Well, here in the States, artists and musicians don't hesitate. That is DJ Gaddafi. All right. Growing up in Jamaica, it was similar. We knew then, knew the political views of the artists. Gaddafi, me to understand some of the, what you call it, the AI definitions of all of these things. You know, I am ignorant, and you know that. Maybe you are testing me. Yeah, even Aldean didn't really suffer. He just had his video taken down from CMT. What is CMT?
I don't know.
Eh?
I don't.
Yes, is Girl 77. When we are raising, we need to get clarity because we want to educate the people. What is CMT? Clarify that for we that we can understand when we come forward. On the line, we have 10-star General saying, how you doing, my brethren, 10-star General over there in England?
Greetings, my brother. I'm doing fairly well. It's great to be in the land of the living.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's good to have you.
Yes, my brethren.
Thank you so much.
I don't know if you was listening, the first part of the discussion we had Paul Bartley, music producer.
I tell you what, there's such a loud disturbance on this line. I can barely hear anything.
All right. Is it much clearer now?
No, it's a loud, windy noise.
All right. Just give me a minute. You're hearing it now?
Okay. It's a little bit better, yes.
All right, we get to our one. See? So My brethren, I was asking you, I asked you earlier on that, you heard the conversation with Paul Bartley and Dan Diana Wright earlier, and I don't know if you.
I haven't heard any of the conversation as yet. No.
Okay, all right. So we are just analyzing and looking on how the industry operate right now, and we are looking, is it deteriorating in some way, or is it growing? Is it expanding in the best interest and the benefit of us as practitioners, and not just practitioners, but for the younger generation that is coming up? Seeing what are we producing? You know what I mean? To bring them to a certain level of consciousness, to become aware of themselves, to even know the history of this great culture that we have, and to even have a clarity and awareness of where it is coming from, the thing that them come and benefit from now, or some of the founding fathers and mothers who created this. This is one of the things that we are looking at. You know what I mean? We just want a few minutes out of the high time. We just, explain what you feel we can do to make it be more impactful.
Yeah, it just seems like, the how can I put it? Many of our elders have suffered to bring this music to where it is today, as you well know, that it was blood, sweat, and tears, and many didn't even get, the respect and the dues which is due unto them. Many went hungry. Many brought this music to a reputable stage, whereby many of them didn't even get paid for what they done. But what they did was they brought our music up to a tremendously great standard, right? Such a great standard that I remember growing up in England, and reggae music not even being accepted among certain people in society, and the likes of people like Bob Marley and many others. Not even Bob Marley was revered; he was frowned upon,
Right.
And these guys stayed at it and brought it to a tremendously great standard. It seems as we've journeyed through the years, and as the standards started to subside somewhat, with the death of Bob Marley, certain lyrical content stepping in. You had the likes of General Echo, and you had Yellowman, Shabba Ranks, and as the message started to take a more spicier stage in life. I think as we've journeyed through the years, the standard has really lopsided. Even when you listen to the production of certain artists, rather than have it mixed and mastered properly, the standard has dropped somewhat.
Yeah.
Just something as simple as that.
Yeah.
It seems also where the standard kind of drops is where you look at somewhere as simple as Europe, right? And whatever Jamaica is not doing to uphold the standard, Europe seems to be doing that.
Wow.
Right? That doesn't mean that there's not any talented individuals in Jamaica, because there's so many. I remember when a group called Pentateuch came out.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever heard of Pentateuch.
Yeah, man. Is all right. Let me break you. Paul Bartley just start about Edna Mandie College. Those young men is a product of Edna Mandie College, trained by Ibo Cooper.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can go ahead. You can continue.
Yeah, and that group was excellent.
Yes.
I don't know what's happened to them now, but the standard that they were trying to bring in, I got to know Pentateuch when they didn't even have a single out. They were just, they had photographs of some what looked like a band.
Yeah.
And that was amazed by the image that they had shown and showed me over the media.
Sure.
So I reached out to this group and I said, "Do you have a single out?" They said they don't have a single out, but when they do, they would let me know. I was fortunate to interview that band, knowing that they came from Edna Manley. Through Pentatush, I also got to know about, I think it was Raging Fire.
Yes, that's another group again.
Getting
Some of
to
them.
know about
C Sharp, you met C Sharp?
Kabaka Pyramid, yeah, all these guys, and realizing that there was a batch of people, even when you talk about Protege and many others, like, it's like there was a certain standard that was coming through, which was being counteracted by a lot of foolishness, especially in the dancehall, Now, when you tie up dancehall with reggae music, it kind of makes the whole industry look bad because it's all being tied up in the same thing, right?
Yes.
So when I look at the standard of something as simple as the lyrical content needs to change, especially when you look at the crime and violence that is going on there, there is a link between the lyrical content which is coming out of Jamaica and how the artists are influencing the youths on the street.
Yes.
Right? There is a direct connection. Nobody can tell me any different, right?
Sure.
And then, as we do know, movies is another thing that also destroys the youth's, mental health. So when you look at all this combined into one, the standard starts to drop, right? The artists are not following. The artists are not following the securing themselves musically. They're not what you call it, copyrighting their stuff and getting it out there, and getting paid for their stuff. They're actually hustling the music with a combination of so many things that's going on right now, which needs paying attention to. The whole thing is subsiding, and then we have the mentality of everyone is, me a bad man, you can't tell me know everything.
Yes.
So even though you can't tell them anything, right?
Yes.
And everybody's a bad man and everybody know everything, and ego is killing us. Yeah.
10-star general.
And then when you fall flat on your face,
you
want to be the first one to cry wolf that the industry or somebody stealing from you. You know how many shows I've done on the reggae music business and the industry talking about how to secure yourself?
Yeah. Before you even go further, see, which I should have done, I should make you introduce yourself properly. Just make the people really know the magnitude of work that I have been doing over the years, including a music producer. Just make the people know who 10-star general is.
Is that Deanna Wright in the background there?
She's here, but we'll soon make you talk to her. She's here.
That's me.
Yes.
Yeah.
10 stars. Shines brighter than 10 stars.
Well, I tell you what, many years ago, maybe, I think it was like 1998, I started producing. I wanted to learn more about how music was being made. So I used to follow a guy called Gussie Phillips. And Gussie Phillips taught me what I needed to know about making music. So I started producing. I then started making music with people like Chuckleberry, Anthony B, Pinchers, and it just kind of stemmed from there. I started producing quite a few people in the industry. One of the first things that there was an artist I worked with this was going back to, I think, 1999.
Yes.
And I wanted to release my first single on vinyl. And a singer in the UK, his name is Leroy Simmons. He called me and said that he wanted to work with me. And I created a rhythm called the Up Park Camp rhythm.
Okay.
On finishing the rhythm, he wanted to go on it. He simply said, listen, he's interested in voicing on this rhythm. How can we make it a reality? Now, back then, that kind of was, or if I wanted to work with a particular artist, I would say, okay, pay me £700 and then, we can do business. So that's how we pretty much did it, right? So at the time, I was just starting out. So I said, listen, I don't have bags of money. I really don't have money in my pocket like that. So he said, don't worry about it. Here's what we can do, right? He says, because you're just starting out, this is what I'm going to suggest you start doing, right? He said, copyright your music. He said, because you're the producer and the owner of the actual rhythm itself, he said, let's go 50-50. So I keep my, my rights as a songwriter, and then you keep yours as the person who owns the actual, rhythm itself, and that's what we did. We worked on it as a 50-50 deal, and he taught me from that minute on. I met another lady, Winston Burrell, who's another singer, and then she took me into there's a place here in Streatham in London called PRS, right, or MCPS. And she started teaching me some other things, So from way back in 1999, I started to copyright a lot of my stuff, and that's how I started to get hooked on. It was kind of like a buzz for me. So basically, from 1999, I started producing more and more and more. Come to 2008, a friend of mine, Wayne Lyrics, said he wants to start a radio station.
Yeah.
And pretty much that's how I got into radio. From 2008, I started doing radio shows. I didn't even know I could do radio shows. And one day, I tried many different styles. Nothing was coming to me. And then something just said, just use your natural voice, your natural style, whatever it was. And that's how I got hooked on radio. So now, radio, even though I had a couple of albums that I had waiting to be mixed and mastered, because I've got 3 albums waiting to go out now as I speak, right? And then radio came into the fore and it got me hooked on now, because I started to see that there were many artists out in the industry who were very talented and weren't getting the promotion that they deserved, So I started to get hooked on looking for the talent, seeking the talent. I created Stockade Promotions. Stockade Promotions was aimed at looking for, great talent out there which weren't getting promoted, and we wanted to make them, popular. So groups like, that's how I got to know groups like Pentatush came out of the before. I started to get to know about Raging Fire. Raging Fire was doing great. Pentatush at some point was doing great, but they fell off somewhere,
Yes.
But there's so many other great groups out there. So basically, I started looking for these individuals, whether it was male or female, in the industry, and getting the promotion that they deserved. And ever since then, I started to do interviews, and I remember meeting Bonnie Ruggs, and I was ecstatic and I was over the moon and whatever. And I said, let's do this interview. And he goes, yes, no problem. So we did the interview. And I got to realize that even when they started out, they weren't even paying for certain music that they had sung back in the day.
Yes.
And I said, wait, but how can you go? I couldn't get my head around it.
Yeah.
I said, how can you not get paid for music that you sang? Did you not know about the industry? He said it just wasn't the thing back then.
Yeah.
I said, so how did you survive then? And they said they would give us a little juice money. I said, juice money? What's a juice money? You know? And they give you a little change, and then you walk away thinking you've done something great.
Yes.
And I can mention names, man.
Yeah.
Icons in the industry.
Yeah.
Me and them are great today, and I share this with you, right? When they hear their music being played, right, you can see tears coming from their eyes,
Sure.
because of the pain and the sorrow that they've been through, still to this day, trying to fight for what is due unto them,
Yeah.
I can tell you situations with Desmond Decker and the Aces and certain member of the Aces not getting paid a penny for what they've done,
Yes.
And when I saw this, I didn't like it, so I created a show called
even
the Reggae Business
even first
Talk
night,
Show.
even first night, we were at this event out in Ocherius, and I am telling you, he's a senior statesman. I use a term here to describe him. He's a senior statesman, in the industry, Bongo Herman. And I was just listening to the man performing, man. You know what I mean? And his voice was as clear as crystal, you know what I mean? And he was talking about the great songs that he played on. I never collect a dollar, from Dennis Brown to Alton Ellis, to up to, so many great artists, you know what I mean? And he's still going on and just enjoying himself, So I over as what the eye saying pertaining to, the injustice in the industry or in the music business. Sometimes me kind of struggle to talk about an industry because we really don't have an industry. You know what I mean? And it's something that we have to find a way to correct. You know what I mean? And you and I talk about this so many times, and best that we really want to see in this business, because it is our business. You know what I mean? No doubt. We are all players and practitioners in this business, and we must do something to make sure we are benefiting, from it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Definitely.
I have a question for you. Do you think that we here in Jamaica, do you think that we really do need people outside of Jamaica to make our music great, and also to begin to earn from it? I'm not talking about what a dollar values here, what the pound values versus what the US values. I'm talking about do we really do need to look outside of Jamaica in order to earn money and to make our music great? Again.
You see that there's this noise in the background which takes away a chunk of what you're saying in the background. I don't know what it is.
All right, is it better now? Is it a little bit better now?
No.
Okay. All right. We have some technical difficulties here, my brethren, and what we're going to need to do, maybe we have to bring you forward, because me just want to have a nice flow when me talk to a man like that. But we are facing a little technical challenge today in the studio. We don't know what is happening, but it is one of those things when it comes to dealing with technology. You see what I say? Okay, try plugging your thing. You can play piece of music. Let me read something from this what go on primarily. You hearing it clearer now?
Do you have the fan running in the background?
No, the fan. We don't have any fan now. You hearing it clearer now?
Okay. Yes, a little bit.
Diana, talk again.
Yes. Can you hear me better now, 10 Star?
Yeah.
Okay. So the question I was asking, do you think that we need to look outside of Jamaica in order to make our music great? And in terms of the earning power, I know the pound and the US dollars, it values a lot here, but do we always need to go outside of us in order to earn? Do you think that way?
So your question is, can we earn from the music that we do in Jamaica?
In Jamaica, yes.
Yeah, I think where we're at today, I question whether any artist can make money off of music nowadays.
No.
If you're doing it, it seems the only way you're going to earn is if a big, massive company is going to come and sweep you off your feet and say, listen, we want to give you a massive deal. Even though you have the aid of technology, and they say technology is there to help you and you can go independent. Listen, you only have to look at the streaming. How much they're paying an individual, to just get maybe £1 or even £100. You've got to have some crazy streams,
right?
Which means you need a following. How many people are business minded like that? We're in an industry where there's too many harbor sharks out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody's looking to rob, Dick to give to Harry or whatever it is. So I say we're in an industry right now where it's going to be very, very hard for you to make a profit. I remember when I released my second album. It was a one rhythm album. I think at the time I must have spent close to something like £6,000 on that project, and I didn't even make half of that back.
Oh my!
Yeah. So it made me wonder. At the time, I had a young child. She was about 2 years old. Money was coming out of my pocket like a running tap.
Wow.
Right. And I said to myself, I have to prioritize now, and I looked at my circumstances, and you only have to journey maybe 15 or 13 years forward to where we are today. I question whether any artist can really make a huge profit off of music. If you're doing music today, you're doing it solely because you love doing it, and it's your biggest vice, right? So the only how an artist going to make money? First and foremost, you need to continually register your music, whether it's with JCap or wherever it is you're going to register your music with. I do believe your music one day will be your pension, which will earn you some money in the future. However, where we are today, I don't see that happening. What I do see happening is if you are extremely talented, you have to invest in yourself so that you can hopefully get the shows out there, So the only way in which you're going to get paid with truly is if somebody recognizes your talent, you have a body of work that you can say, hey, this is who I am. I've done a couple of videos. This is me performing at wherever and wherever, and hopefully you'll get the chance to, break into the industry a little bit further. But many people who are doing it by themselves, they really are not making anything. They're just doing it for the love. And unless you're performing on the stage, you're just doing it for the hell of it.
Yeah.
We are understanding that it is live performances is where you're gonna get the money now from these, especially these days.
Sorry?
Live performances, concerts. That's where the money is for most artists.
Well, that's where the money is, and who are running the concerts, and what is the agenda? I've even heard that there's certain artists who don't want to see other younger artists performing on stage.
Wow.
Or they're saying that I don't want to perform with this artist and that artist. Unless we understand what needs to be done, it's going to be like jumping out of an aeroplane without a parachute.
Yeah.
If you're going to jump out of the aeroplane without a parachute, you're going to fall to your death, right?
Yeah. My brother.
So unless we come together to understand what needs to be done, I still see Jamaica as a place which can make a huge impact.
Yes.
Right? But I think we're blinded by superficial things, materialistic things. People want it now. People are looking to go through drastic measures in order to make it. You know, some people doing some dark things behind closed doors, thinking it's not going to come to light. You know, because they really need to make it. They need to keep up with their lifestyle.
Yes. My brother,
you know,
it is always.
I've lost you.
Yeah, it is.
Say that again.
It is always good. No, we are getting an echo. It is always good hearing from the IC.
I'm here. I can hear you now.
Yeah. So what I'm saying, my brethren, we are going to link up another time and have a deeper discussion because
you're getting rid of me already.
Yeah, because we have a time slot. We don't really want to get rid of you yet, but you know, go on what vibes with Diana, right?
Yeah. Do you want the subversion of what I'm saying? Am I a little bit too deep?
No, man. We love your deepness, brethren. You don't do so we don't love surface speak. You have a speaker on?
Yeah, that's the only way I'm going to be able to hear you.
Yeah, so it's an African right here, so now.
All right, let me take my speaker.
Yeah. So, as we said, we understand your deepness when it comes to this business, yeah? And I would want to really interact with you, seeing is to maybe have your hands straight. You know, we need to do a full interview with your 10-star general because your knowledge of this industry and how you can help to motivate and sensitize the people, especially, I mean, I have that discussion already, especially when it comes to copyright and how you can maximize earnings from your craft and your talent, you know. And this is something that we have to really look deep into because we are in an age right now. Last night I was talking to my wife about something, you know, pertaining to somebody who took somebody to court, you know, for a piece of music that is created or that was created. But the person created this thing with AI, artificial intelligence. So, yeah, what happened now? He lose the case because this is not his original creation. You can't use AI to create anything and say it is yours. See? So all of these legal things are happening within the industry right now. So 10-star.
Yeah,
we have to go break it right here, so you know, because we really have some feedback and it not sound too nice, you know. So,
right.
So
it's really
difficult
to hear a lot of things, but thank you for inviting me anyway.
Yeah, man, and we'll keep in touch, my brethren. Thank you for coming on. Yes, this is the Community Buzz, and this is Irie, and this is Imara, the musical revolutionary scene. And we have got some people, you know, in the chat room over here and Primal. And they are holding a vibes with us, you know what I mean? And we give thanks to the interaction, you know. DJ Gaddafi between both parties or deeper. I'm talk about from them time we talk with Paul, saying, I could say for any recent. We have good friends who think that the Edna Man, the musicians, are not as good as the untrained predecessors. I disagree with that view. I disagree with that too. Yeah, I mean, I am totally disagree because these youth are, you know, extremely talented. I am a know a whole heap of them. You know what I mean? Even last night I was watching one of them when he just come to school of music. And I see him play with Buju Banton. Well, a few of the musicians that is touring with Buju Banton right now are School of Music students. So whoever saying these things are joke thing, you know. A joke thing them at all, that's a DJ Gaddafi. Why would they think that? I don't know what made them a think. So music is about the ear. That's a gift you born with. Training is the icing on the cake. But the ear, people, you know what I mean, are born with. It is nothing that you can do to formalize musical training. Yes, we could play a piece of music and we'll come back with us. Wall of Vibes with Diana Wright for the remainder of the time that we have here. Seeing so, one more piece of music.
Dear love said it's sweet like a sugar. You promise you the world so your heart it a quiver. Anywhere you wanna go, take you out to dinner. 3 months, 4 months, love starts it. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, boom. Sound on your heart, skip a beat. No conversation, short and gone. Zoom know your whole body grow, and no ow, ow. Knocking a 2:15. Baby, ow, ow. Knocking a 2:15. Tell me how, knocking at 2:15. Baby, how, knocking at 2:15. Remember anything was sweet, mama, so it a go sour. Promises are come for you,
FM 96.7 for the best in reggae music.
This is Fit FM 96.7. Shalom is radio. Your life, your music. Dear love said it's sweet like a sugar. You promise you the world so your heart it a quiver. Anywhere you wanna go, take you out to dinner. 3 months, 4 months, love starts it. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, boom. Sound on your heart, skip a beat. No conversation, short and gone. Zoom know your whole body grow, and no ow, ow. Knocking at 2:15. Baby, ow, ow. Knocking at 2:15. Tell me ow, ow. Knocking at 2:15. Baby, ow, ow. Knocking at 2:15. Remember anything was sweet, mama, so it a go sour. Promises are comfort to a fool, no make them power you. Take away your heart and your mind and will devour you. With the sweet talking, they overpower your roses are red and violets are blue. Sugar is sweet, but not sweet like you. There's nothing in the world that for you them wanna do. But I bet you didn't know you would have been down battle. Ow, ow, knocking at 2:15. Baby, ow, ow, knocking at 2:15. Tell me ow, ow.
Yes. Me no know how. And knock Diana door at 2:15. And anything sweet, yo, I go sour, yo. That me know. Professor X, big up yourself, Professor X. Saying Jamaica has no precedence when it comes to musical laws, and that is a big problem for the country. You know, that is musically rich. Yes, that is true. You know, we need to deal with the intellectual property law. Stanberry was a first Jamaican lawyer I heard talking about copyright, etc. Way back in the 1970s. I haven't seen much progress since that. Well, we are stepping very slow. We are creep, and that is very sad when it comes to dealing with copyright things in Jamaica. We can't have this powerful, you know what I mean? What we call, sometimes, you know, how we deal with this? How we going to deal with this? When we are going to wake up? I just say like some we have to just blow music and go to one politician and change this whole thing, because, you know what I mean? We need people who are going to look out for our interests. And it seems like we're not going to get that from the people who are in power. Anyway, Diana Wright.
Yes.
I want to 2:15.
That boy.
You have to tell the people, let me know. And who and knock? A patu? 2:15. And anything sweet you are going to sour you tonight. Yeah. What are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great.
Yeah.
I'm doing great. It's such a joy.
Tell the people more about Diana Wright, you know what I mean?
Wow.
Because we know that you are the CEO of 16 Bars Production,
Mm-hmm.
and you wear so much art.
Boy.
That's right now, you know, I have no head to put them on. So,
Wow.
go ahead.
Okay, so my name is Diana Wright. As Imar says, I was born and raised in Clarendon. He was a little country girl. You know, so all those who know White Shop, that's where I was born and raised. Yes. And so jump to, I know it's a musical piece that we are all interested in, right? So I'm the writer and singer for this beautiful, very popular song called "If You Miss Me" that was played earlier. I am also a poet, and I have entered lots of JCDC's competition and won many awards from them. I have 3 albums. My first one was "Portrait of Praise," that was when I did the "If You Miss Me" song on it. And then I have a second one called "Blessings and Honor." You have songs like "How Could I," which is a really, that song is on the Bushfire rhythm. That's a really nice song. They have "Sincerely," some really tough tune upon it. And then you have, in 2019, I did an EP called "Real Thing." Real Thing, you have some really nice tracks on that too. During in Minnesota where they had the murder of George Floyd, I did a really powerful song called "Can't Breathe." Can't breathe, hands cuffed, face down. Why this is a 9-minute round? Can't breathe. It's a very tough song, and the song has, it has gained me a lot of love, if I can say, in Ghana. Last year I traveled to Ghana to perform on the Hands Across Africa show. It was very good. Also, I have another one too that is very good. It's called "Bed of Roses," and that also I think Julia has that one. Yes, so "Bed of Roses" is very nice. They will love it. And I am a writer. I'm into music. I'm into production. I'm into a whole heap of things. And I'm alright. You did it with me.
Yeah.
Me alone.
Yes. No, you see, come on Jamaica, seeing, and we're just happy for having a Jamaica, to see you among us. And we are looking at the industry. We are looking at the industry and to see the things that we can do to make ourselves be more beneficial from it. You know what I mean? Because over the years, we realize that there's something that we are not doing right. We must take responsibility for that. Yeah. We not look at nobody else and say, boy, what people are doing. There's something that we are not doing right. And what are some of the things? How are we going to fix them something? Because as we talk about, we're in a age right now where music stops sell. Mm-hmm. See? And that's why we even want to talk about 16-bar production. Mm-hmm. And when we say music stop sell because, when you go and make a piece of music, I just say maybe you spend 200,000. We just put it at 200,000 because that can't make music, if you really want to create something where you want to impact the people, certain kind of music where we look on, where we say we want to create certain way. 200,000 is just a little change to create that. See? Yeah. And when you look, I'm going to tell you, boy, you have to stream 100,000 before him pay you $1. You have to stream 100,019 and you come up with 16 bars, see, where say, boy, if me I sell my music for $5, the moment you come on and you buy it, me see me $5 in my account.
Right. Just like that. You see?
So that shows that we can do something about it.
We can.
So what when we see that, or we can expand that, if we say we want to have our own online marketing and to control all of the works that we are doing, whether we're into books, whether we're into poetry, whatever, performance, the whole creative work, or we can develop a team of people, because we as artists, if we are going to be writers, singers, producers, market, it will take too much from we.
That's true.
So it's going to need a team of people. And that is one of the things that we realize that we are struggling with, to find the people with the requisite skills who can help us along the way. Or we are going to deal with that.
Okay, so first thing, I think we need to start by stop seeing other people as larger than life. We need to stop seeing the people outside of us, outside of Jamaica, because the people outside of us are investors. They're only seeing us as a talent, and they're taking us, getting the money, and they're giving us trapans and evening, as my daddy would say. You understand? So if we stop seeing people as larger than life and seeing us as the one with the goods, for example, if you look at history will tell you that during for example, during the Great Depression in America, that's when the time millionaires were born. Can you imagine? During the Great Depression, millionaires were born. So when we're looking at situation and say, okay, the music is not selling right now, this is not happening, so therefore we're at a loss. I don't think so. I think this is a great opportunity, King, for us to look into ourselves, and we find the few, like Imara, the Bartley, we find the Dianas, we find, people. It just takes a few good men. You understand what I'm saying? You are very talented. Not only are you a singer, you are very versed. You have great knowledge and history, and you have whole heap of knowledge about other things. We can look for other people. I have other knowledge elsewhere, and we can sit down and we can around the table and we can put things together and put things in place and come up with a real company. Forget that Jacob is there. Because Jacob, I'm not saying to forget them totally, because, like, for example, what I believe I deserve and what I should be getting in terms of royalty, even from my song, is nowhere there. You have Jacob, you have ASCAP, right? And I cannot even tell you when I get anything from ASCAP. So it's just there. And 16 Bars is a publishing company. Yeah. You see, so we have to know, be the person that we need. We have to do it at home, and that's the only way. We're going to have to just bulldoze and just do it.
As a former director of JCAP, see, who helped to make that organization become what it is right now. See, we believe that one of the things why you see some organization don't function at the level that they're supposed to function is because the membership are not participating enough, to make sure that the people who are there as administrators take instruction from the grassroots people. And I believe that is what we need to do. And something that I've been always advocating and agitating. One person called me a socialist because of that kind of mindset. Yeah. When we say we need to educate the members, that the members can know how to run their organization. We don't want, and that's why I left the board. That's why I move as a director. Because I don't want to do like some of my brethren with the front farm and hand now, then sit down on the board. You understand? I don't want to do that for that. If we don't find a way that when we serve for 5 years or 2 or 3 years, and if me feel like say, maybe I will do something else, we see some people with the knowledge who understands that this that we are a part of, right, is ours. And like we used to sit down and so on, depend on PRS, and we don't know who control PRS, we don't know. Just have the knowledge of all your music, when your music sell, when it play, who are the people who are paying license. Saying that if these people are not paying license, if your music are play upon the station, you can't collect. If you know what I mean, how to get all of the people who play music, you know what I mean, to make sure them pay up them license, or the government participate in that, because that is what France and all of them country they do. You understand? People collect music, collect royalty from shipping companies, from airline companies, you understand? And from small industry, you have a bar, you have clubs, you have these things. In a Jamaica, up till now, most of these players no have a license, yet them play music. Even some of the people who call themselves promoter. See, when you go to a promoter, you say to a promoter, say, you need to pay up some because you are going to keep this show. They must say, well, we don't pay up. But when the artists, them, and I tell you some artists who turn promoter too, and them know, so them collect them royalty when they go France. See? And when the royalty check come in, is how many times your music play, whether in clubs, whether in this is the next thing. We need a kind of system to monitor these things. And I believe we are not at that level yet in a Jamaica.
We can find people to, among us, you see, we can delegate work, we can find people to lobby for among ourselves. It is going to take some letters, it's going to take, to write some strong letters. We have to use the media, which is the most powerful thing now. We have to use the media and talk about these things, and we have to get the letters into the place where it's supposed to go. And if we don't get any result, we keep pushing and pushing. That's how these politicians get their way. That's how people get the systems to work.
Well, as you talk about letters, me observe long time that when powerful groups come together, it's a certain powerful group right now, when them can tell us that we don't want the artists in our country, and people have to just know say, or you have to sign whatever kind of thing with them. So these are some things we are look on, and we believe that we have enough influence, we have enough power there, and right, so we can be the change that we want to see. See? So I'm going to give you the last word, before we wrap up, because we soon wrap up, so you have the last talk.
He said, "Ow." Me. All right, so I see how people just see Jamaica as a little gold mine, if I can say that they just come and they just mine it and take it and go. I am at that stage. I've always been ready, and that's the reason why I did most of the things for myself. I'm into graphics, I'm into the whole 9 yards. But no, wherever it's going to take, whatever it's going to take, I'm ready to team up with some people, I'm not care who, and we are going to fight this thing, because Jamaica, we can't sit and leave it and just let it go to people. Music is ours. The reggae, the culture, everybody else is benefiting from it except ours. And I think it is high time now that we really, even if we have to bulldoze some things, I think that we have the power to. I think we have whatever it takes to do it. We just, as long as we're not coward. And not many believe in no coward there, right? So I think we
to make it work, is knowledge. Is to understand the vastness of this industry. Is to get the media houses involved, to get all the players, when we say players, on every level, to understand, see, the magnitude of this thing that we call the music and the art and the culture, and how it can help to generate income for everybody. You understand? And contribute to what them call our GDP in the country. Because how much people know say when the first recession did hit, 2008, the music industry saved France economy. How much people know that?
Wow, I didn't even know.
And I want to tell you, most of we don't realize, say, France owe Jamaica artists billions of euro. So maybe a sum of free money save them economy. We have to dig deeper into these things. You understand? Reggae music is the biggest music in the world. Who don't want to believe that?
And especially when you go to Africa?
They watch now.
Oh gosh.
We watch all of these reggae festivals over the world, and who impact the people more than anybody else.
Yeah.
Then still have to call out Old Burning Spear and Muta Baruka. Even Muta Baruka, they are Ratatamia right now.
Wow.
Johnny Osborne, Lone Ranger.
Wow.
Just watch these things. We give thanks, and we want to shout out the people them over Primal, Professor X. Give thanks, my brethren, for your contribution. Let me read something last time. I said, since the Jamaican government is not doing anything about it, then it is up to the lawyers or the new law students to venture out into this area and practice. Yeah? True. Well, it's true. And we have a new lawyer here. I hope we can get her to be be on our side, She's one of the director here at Fit FM, okay? Big up yourself, January. See? We want you to be on our side. Yeah? So this is the community buzz. And Fit FM. And guess what? He's ready. See, no one give him some more time for talk, because he's a brilliant brethren, We don't go around that, and he's well versed. See? I don't know if Diana was still. J.A. with us them time. I forgot to 16 bars.
www.16barsproductions.com. You find Imara, you find Gumbe Culture, you find Chachi, you find Action, you find Diana, artists that we work with and all get paid. You understand? What songs they one of them pay themselves. See? So let's work together, people. www.
Goodbye, people.
Give me a firm foundation when I stand it. You know no whole heap of money, but we comfortable. Keep me together, man, we comfortable. Treat me like a queen, don't make me vulnerable. Nah, give me stress, don't make me miserable. Even though sometimes it's pockets empty,